I ain't never been with a baddie.
Mm.
She come, so I add it to the tally.
We spend a lot of time on TikTok for being in our 30s.
Don't tell them that. It's nothing you admit unrevoked.
Unrevoked.
Isn't that a word?
Unprovoked.
Who let me have a degree? Like, who even let me graduate? He needs to be fired. Or her. Whoever was handing out the degrees that day. I have this video of me accepting my diploma.
As proof?
Well, the video, I never got the video. It is with my ex-husband. And I'm kind of sad about it because it was me walking across stage, and then I got it, shook the guy's hand, threw my hands up in the air, and screamed and danced off the stage.
Okay, well, your ex lives like 4 blocks away, so I'm going to head down there really quick.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, we'll be right back after these messages.
Did he know you? He knew you, right?
Yeah.
He knew you. So he'd be like, I know, this is a really weird request.
Super odd. I promise you, I can go take a shot right now. On my feet, because he lives real close.
I'll pay you 16 cents. It's because that's what was it's in my pocket.
I was going to say it. That wouldn't even cover the foot gas mileage.
Foot gas.
To get down there. There it is.
There it is.
I don't even have a drink. I'm so sad. Oh, you know what I have downstairs that'll be perfect? Root beer Everclear.
It rhymes, kind of. Root beer Everclear.
Root beer Everclear.
I ain't never been with a baddie.
She calls, so I pour her some root beer Everclear.
Ah! TikTok gonna be calling us up. We're gonna have so many views.
So many.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Christina. We're 2 best friends who met in college 12 years ago. I'm now a stay-at-home mom with 2 children, a preteen and a toddler.
And I'm a career mom with a toddler. We've been through a lot of life together, and we're here to tell you all the stuff we wish people would have told us. We are Millennial Moms.
Do you hear a phone?
I did hear a phone. Did you call somebody? I swear I heard.
I did too. I heard a phone, like, dialing.
And then I thought I heard somebody say hello, like a female.
Oh, it's the ghost.
Oh,
It followed us.
how is the ghost?
I have no idea. I haven't been back since the bird incident. So, I would like to think that it was our podcast that kind of let the whole world know about the hotel being for sale. And I had a tour of the afternoon that our podcast released. And it went all right, I guess. Swimmingly, yes. So I was up on the 3rd floor, and then I discovered there was a bird, and then I was like running from window to window and opening the windows, which is not easy in a 100-plus-year-old hotel with original windows.
No.
So it was like I was prying them open to free this poor bird, and he wouldn't listen to me, and I was like, wrong way, like this way. I felt like one of those guys on the tarmac with the plane. Like I was pointing.
You had the light,
Yes,
the lightsabers.
I was like, this way.
Exits are here, here, and here.
If the masks fall down.
Always put yours on first, because everybody else.
There's a really good movie on Amazon Prime. He said, how are you going to know that you're in love? And she said, because I will want to put the mask on them first in the airplane. It's a really good movie. I don't know what it's called. So
Sounds fascinating.
look that up. Good luck. Google is going to be like, they insane.
Elizabeth Walla from Millennial Momming says to check out this movie where there's like a guy and there's like an airplane, and she gave him her mask. And she fell in love with
Google
him.
just like, error, stop typing. We don't even want to help you. Speaking of Google, I went to see the doctor today, just for like a little checkup, and I was mentioning how on Google it said, I could feel her rolling her eyes when I said, well, on Google it said.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, if I was a doctor, I would be annoyed by that. But I'm sorry, with today's healthcare costs, Google is the doctor.
And she's probably just mad because she got her degree from Google.
I if you're listening, I'm sure you got a nice degree. I'm sure the same person who gave my degree is not the same person who gave your degree.
And we've come full circle. Welcome to another episode of Millennial Momming. We really hit that G.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're a little excited because we found out today we hit 1,000 episode downloads. Yay!
How crazy is that? 1,000 people actually willingly click on us.
That we've been listened to 1,000 times. I probably would have stopped halfway through episode 1.
I mean, but we gotta listen to ourselves. We already...
We have to... I don't think people realize how many times we have to listen to our own episodes.
So many times. By the time it actually airs, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
want to hear it. And I thought that was just me, and I felt bad.
No,
But,
it's me too.
When it's through the editing process, and we listen to it 5,000 times. You listen to it way more than I do, because you do the editing now.
Yes.
And, yeah, I remember when I did the editing, and I wanted to puke at my own voice.
Yeah, it just gets to a point where you have it memorized.
Yes!
And you're, like, waiting for the dumb part to come up that you thought was so funny the first time.
And then you're like,
And then 700 listens later, you're like, okay, I'm an idiot.
cut that out.
But then you don't, because other people find it funny. We do allow a select few individuals to listen before we post.
We have a selected panel.
We do. We do. We tie a couple of close people down to the ground and we throw headphones on them and force them to listen to our episodes before they air. And then we don't let them up until they give us a big double thumbs up.
Yeah, and if they give us a thumbs down, they gotta stay tight.
I gotta listen till they enjoy it. No, we do appreciate our friends that give us
preview it.
Yeah, that
And tell us if it's dumb.
Yeah, because we've had a couple that were dumb.
Yeah, we have, and so these people we trust to tell us the truth, and they really do. So
we greatly appreciate it.
I don't like people are like, yeah, it was great, because I'm like, stop lying to me.
Yeah, I know it wasn't that great, but we do try to put out good stuff. So if you don't enjoy any of it,
you can tell when Christina edits versus me, because she lets the bad words stay in. And I tried so hard to cut the bad words out. It was a lot of work to cut those bad words out.
Yeah, but now on this handy dandy tool, all I have to do is find the sound bite and go over it and hit generate silence.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's so good. That's why I leave it in, because it's just easier that way.
Oh.
So I leave it in and then I silence the bad
See, when
word
I
out.
did it, they thought we were innocent, pure people, and when you do it, they're like, maybe they're not.
And we've hit 1,000 downloads, so you are welcome.
Thanks to our listeners for putting up with us.
Yeah, we are super excited. I don't think we ever thought.
No, I definitely never thought.
I know I've had a couple people ask if we have scripts and plan what we're going to talk about. No.
Well, we used to.
We used to have, for like one episode, not we.
I'm a giant note taker, and she almost killed me, so I had to put my notes away. I don't even have my phone with me, because I don't even want to look at it, because she will kill me.
Yeah.
She beats me when nobody's looking.
She likes it.
Gonna have to cut that part out. We are innocent.
Okay.
Pure humans.
But no, we don't. Everything that we record is just us sitting down with a drink and conversating as we would not record it. So
we did get a message from Jonathan, our best friend, who said, why are these podcasts always two best friends? Like, I want to see two enemies put a podcast together. And I felt a little basic. I didn't realize that there was a bunch of podcasts out there. I don't listen to podcasts.
yeah.
I only listen to ours 5,000 times. Oh, by the way, with us listening to it 5,000 times, it doesn't count. That's probably why you're thinking that it went up to 1,000 downloads. It doesn't work like that.
No, the way that the episodes are counted are by listens, and it counts all Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook. Most of our listeners come from Facebook. But when we say that we've listened to it 700... Yes. So when we say that we've listened to something 1,000 times, we're talking about in the editing process.
Correct.
So we have a file that we have to go through. It's me. It used to be Elizabeth, and she was very good at it, but she got very busy.
I am very, I've said it before, but You're impressing me with just all this
Oh my
digital
God,
stuff
thank
you
you.
know. It's so, like, sexy.
Oh my
Look
God.
how smart you are.
Thank you.
Oh.
So yeah, we as you're editing, you listen to each part over and over and over and over and over. And then of course, when you think that you're done with the episode, you have to listen to it all the way through to make sure it is perfect. And 9 times out of 10, you find a mistake. So then you go back in and edit and listen to the whole thing again.
It's kind of like writing, but
oh yeah.
a lot less annoying because it's just the voice in your head when you're reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
There you go. So because we hit 1,000 episode downloads, we thought it'd be fun to do a cute little giveaway. So coming up after this episode airs, there's going to be a post on our Facebook page, and we will have all the rules on how to enter the giveaway, but it's going to be super simple, and it's just a thank you to our listeners who have stuck by us and supported us, and we hope that you enjoy it.
yes.
Our secret phrase to be entered into the giveaway is...
Avocado toast, a millennial's favorite.
Hey, so keep an eye out.
Yes.
When this episode airs, go to our Facebook page because we will have a post announcing how to enter our giveaway.
So, one thing that I have noticed is that we were both raised by single moms.
We were. Yep. Shout out to single moms.
Whoop whoop.
You're the real MVPs.
So, even though we talk about our marriages a bit, we definitely don't forget where we came from, which was, you know, I don't think I appreciated my mother enough.
Oh, I definitely didn't.
Because, like, mom would check on me all the time when I was away at college, or it would be annoying, like, Mom,
Leave me alone.
I'm at a party.
Let me live. I'm trying to sleep.
No, so then now that I have my own child, I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel bad, because now I realize how much my mom loves me, and I never once realized it.
I never realized the work that our single mothers went through.
Leon and I say all the time, we cannot imagine if we were single parents. Yara she's a really good kid, but that child has so much energy. And so we really try to do a lot with her, and it's exhausting. But
It is exhausting. Randy's family came to visit this past weekend, and his mom and I were talking about how I'm like a DIYer, and I like to do stuff around the house. I did my own floors. My mom painted 3 of the rooms down there. She and I redid our kitchen.
mm-hmm.
We're DIYers. We like to just do projects by ourselves. And she thought that was really cool because she also was the same way. She liked to do projects by herself. She had asked me, how'd you get into DIY? And I said, I was raised by a single mom. There wasn't a guy around to do these things. And my mom, being the incredible woman that she is, was like, well, I'm going to do it myself.
Every day after school, we'd go to Menards, and we would sit down and we'd plan out how we wanted the kitchen cabinets and all this stuff. And they had to be so sick of us, because I swear to you, that was like every single day we went there. And we put together the kitchen cabinets ourselves, and I laid the floor in my mom's kitchen. At this time, I mean, I was probably 14, 15, so it was Mom and I laying the linoleum in the kitchen, putting together the kitchen cabinets and putting them up, and then rented a floor sander. I sanded the whole entire floor over the weekend. And so we also taught ourselves how to drywall. Which was a very handy thing, because I actually drywalled through high school, and it helped pay for my tuition for my private school and for college. So,
you know how I learned to drywall? I kicked a hole in my room wall. I think I was like 14 or 15. And I didn't want my mom to know. And so I was like, what?
Don't tell me you covered the whole thing in mud, did you?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. I learned how to do it. And this was like before YouTube days. You couldn't just hop on YouTube.
There was no phone.
Nope. You had to go on down to the library.
Or Menards and bug the crap out of the guy in millwork. Poor guy.
Yeah. No, I had to figure out how to do it myself to fix the hole.
My first crush, the dude worked at Menards. I remember it like it was yesterday.
What was his name? Give him a shout out.
No, I'm keeping that to myself. Definitely keeping that to myself because I'm pretty sure he still exists in this area. So that's just going to be between me and the Lord.
Okay, so when we stop recording, she'll tell me. So yeah, on top of raising 2 children, because your mom had 2 kids,
Yep.
my mom had 2 kids,
Boy and a girl, boy and a girl.
by themselves, they also
Worked full time.
worked full time.
My mom also went back to college. She already had a degree, but she went back to college for, I don't know. I was young. I don't know what she was doing, but she worked full time and then went to school at night, and she got the women's, I don't know, America Women Work, blah, blah, blah. She got the scholarship to pay for college and everything. So she did that, and that was a lot of the time. My mom and my grandma kind of just raised me. We didn't all live together, but obviously when my mom was going to college at night, my grandma had me. So, but it's crazy to me that our moms, well, my mom, she did all of that. She raised 2 children, and she still managed to be extremely strict. Like, how is that even possible? Like, I don't know. I mean, look at me now. It must have worked.
It must have worked. Yeah, my mom couldn't be strict because she had 2 horrible children. Horrible. When I say horrible, you guys, I mean it all. We were horrible. In fact, my mom and I were just talking about it the other day, and I gave her praise. I said, I do not know how you raised my brother and I, because we were terrible. Not as young children, but when we hit our teens, woo! It was bad.
That's probably why my mom was so strict, because when I hit my teens, I wasn't naughty. I was drywalling. or we were going to church together, and her friends were my friends, so I really didn't even hang out with a lot of people my age.
I didn't either. That's the thing. I had no friends, and yet I was still a horrible human. I didn't go to school. I was on probation for truancy.
Woo!
I think I was 14. I just wouldn't get up. Now, mind you, I wasn't doing anything exciting, like leaving the house. I was sleeping. I was sleeping in my bed.
Maybe you have narcolepsy.
All day long. It was actually, looking back, I had severe depression.
Oh.
But at that time, we didn't know that. But I was sleeping like 23 hours a day. I was sleeping or I was crying. There's nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing else in
If
there.
I would have known you, I would have been like, oh, I'll be a fan.
I was so mean.
But then my mom would have been like,
Sure.
you can't hang out with that girl.
For sure.
She's naughty.
We actually have the funniest story about your mom and me. I met Elizabeth, I was 21, 22?
You were my banker.
Yeah, I was your banker, but we didn't, other than hello and here's your money, that's all. There was no friendship. We just saw each other at the bank.
You just gave me free money.
I just gave you money. And then I was fired. I don't know, it was a whole thing. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That never happened. On my children's lives, that never happened. But you and I became friends. Like I said, my son was about 1.5. And it turns out that I met her mom when I was pregnant with Jaden. And she had known my son's biological dad. Mm-hmm. And we had ran into each other at Walmart, of all places. Welcome to Fremont.
Welcome to small town. If you want to see anybody, you go to Walmart.
Yep. If you have no idea where they are in this universe, go to Walmart. I guarantee you'll run into them.
You don't dress like crap when you go to Fremont or go to Walmart here. You have to dress well.
Like you're going to Target.
Right? Because you will see people you went to school with in preschool.
Yep.
My mom thought you were so sweet.
That's how I thought she was for sure talking about somebody else.
Do you remember meeting my mom?
I do.
Was she a jerk to you?
No, she was so sweet.
I've never seen my mom be a jerk to anyone. So.
She had recognized Jaden's biological dad. And so they did that whole like, oh, hi, how are you doing thing in Walmart. And I just stood off to the side, very pregnant. He introduced me to her, and she said, oh, is this her? Is this the one you've been talking about? And I said, yeah. I was 19, you guys. I was an itty-bitty baby.
Oh, that was so long ago.
Yeah. And so she gave me this huge hug, and she said, I've heard so many things about you, and you're just wonderful. You know your mom.
Yes.
We had been friends for how long before your mom realized that she knew me?
I swear to you, it was probably just maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was not super long ago. When we put 2 and 2 together, she didn't realize that I was Elizabeth's best friend when we met that one time. So that was super funny. Again, welcome to small towns.
Both of our moms are absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
Like the sweetest
people.
And man, they raised us. Like,
how did they come out of that?
I don't know, the fact like morning, you know, you not only had to do the morning routine and get everybody off to school on time, and she was a school teacher. But then she also had to come home and feed us and then get us to bed. And then when I got older, I was in every sport imaginable. And so like she would have to take me to my sporting events and all that stuff. And I remember, you know, playing basketball and stuff and volleyball, and I'd look into the crowd, you know, expecting her to be there. And she was always there. My thing is, that is a lot.
Oh my gosh, that's why I'm thankful neither of my children are into sports. I couldn't imagine how busy you moms are that have children in sports, and to show up for all their games, to show up for all their practices. Oh my word.
I see a lot of moms. One of our friends, Misty, she has about 20 children now. She has six, I think, and every single one of them is in a sport. And
yes.
God bless her.
And she's at all of them.
She's at all of them, and she'll say on Facebook that she's at all of them, and I'm just like, bless her soul, because that is exhausting.
Yeah.
I was talking to her the other day, though, and she said, we're going to have to scale it down this summer because it was too crazy last summer, so
okay,
the kids are going to choose, like, do they want to play ball or do they want to do gymnastics? But they're not doing both.
Mm-mm.
That, especially with 6 children. And my brother, so I only have one child with my husband, Leon, and I actually, the other day, you know, I'm 35. So when you get to 35, I never thought this would be me, but you lay awake at night. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, my eggs, they're drying up as we speak.
You can almost hear the shrinkage.
And you're like, you think, I don't want another child, but my body seems to think I need another child. So I said to Leon the other day, I said, do you want to have another child? And he's like, absolutely not. We went through a lot. When I got staph infection, almost died. Then I got postpartum depression. We moved halfway across the state. Child had colic. Leon worked crazy shift hours. I was alone all the time. I was so lonely. Oh, my word.
Imagine how single moms feel.
Yeah, that is what is so crazy to me. Like, how did our moms press on? And my mom never remarried, and
Me either.
She never really dated.
Same.
And she had...
Except one time. Right, Mom? Remember that one time?
My mom...
You remember.
My mom has had, like, plenty of opportunities, and she's always said, my children come first. I'm like, Mom.
You're like, we're middle-aged.
Stop it. She still uses that, because she'll be like, what if you need me? I'm like, well, then I'll call up my new dad and say, put Mom on the phone. So if you're looking for a really sexy woman, we got 2 of them. So, you know,
I think we should just introduce them to each other at this point.
They
could go to Menards.
I was talking to I have said that before. Today I said, Mom, you got to watch this show, Modern Love, on Amazon Prime. It's like off of New York Times.
There's
Modern
like an
Love
airplane.
Story. No, it's a different one. Modern Love literally made me fall in love with my husband all over again. It's such an incredible show. So I saw on there's this older lady who, got married a second time. And I was like, that could be you when you're older if you would just, you know, marry somebody already. And then she's like, you know, I just want to be there for you. And I was like, oh my word, Mother. I said, it is okay to admit that you're a lesbian.
It's fine.
If you knew my mother and how religious she is, you would think this is hilarious.
You would fall over.
But, so my new thing is, I used to always, like, even since I was a little kid, like, Mommy, just to be a jerk, I'd be like, can I have a new daddy? Anyways, but now my new thing, since I'm in my 30s and I'm a jerk, I keep saying to her all the time, almost every single time we talk, I say, it's okay to admit you're a lesbian, Mom. I will accept you. I will still love you.
Will you go downstairs and do that to my mom, please?
I will. Wouldn't it be hilarious if we got them to actually hook up?
First of all, ew. Phrasing.
We gotta do it for the podcast. You know
That's
how
good content.
You know how they used to be like, do it for the Vine.
Yeah.
Do it for the podcast. Get our mothers to turn the bat for the other team. I think I wouldn't be able to know which one was, like one's usually manlier and one's a little femalier.
Mom's got some really old bibbies.
Boobies?
Bibbies, like bib.
Oh, bib overalls. Okay, yeah, your mom's probably gonna be the yeah.
And she's got the haircut.
Oh, she does. My mom has long hair and no bib overalls. So
sounds like a match made in heaven.
I can't wait for their wedding. Oh my word. Also, our mothers listen to every single one of these podcasts. And if you guys don't hear a podcast next week, you'll know we were murdered. It was not an accident.
I can't wait.
We love you.
We do. We love our mothers, and we love all single mothers. I was a single mom briefly. Let's see. Jaden was 2, probably.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Really? Don't look at me. I have the worst memory on this planet.
Hold on. Let me think. It's been so freaking long.
I just felt like Jonathan and me were in Jaden's life for a little bit before Randy came along.
No, because remember when we just had that conversation about how we were talking about hanging out, and you were like, oh, I live off of 72nd and Dodge. And I was like, my boyfriend lives off 72nd and Dodge.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong.
So,
Redact that. Is that the word?
It's actually retract.
Seriously, who let me have a degree? I am still paying on that degree, guys. Like,
Sally Mae, come get it. She ain't using it anyway.
I'm questioning if that's a real degree.
Anyway, yes, I was a single mom. And when I say single mom, I mean I lived by myself and raised Jaden. I had a boyfriend at the time, so I guess I don't know if that doesn't count. I was doing everything myself. I was getting him to school. Oh my gosh.
Boyfriends don't really count when you're that young.
Well, and he lived in another town.
Oh.
He lived in Omaha and I lived in Fremont.
Which one? Randy? Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you... I'm not... Seriously, I'm still laughing about the redacted. In my head, I'm like, what does redact mean then? No, so...
I remember when Jaden, I think he was about 3 or 4, and he wasn't in school yet, so I had to get him off to daycare. My job, I had to be in Omaha at 6:30 in the morning. My shift started. And so I had to get Jaden off to daycare at 5 a.m. And so he and I would go to sleep at 7 p.m. the night before. And then we'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, both of us, to get him, fed, dressed, ready to go, off to daycare. I'd drop him off at 5 a.m., get to my shift at 6:30, and come home, pick him up, cook dinner, do all the things, do the bath, clean the house, do the laundry, all this stuff. And it was exhausting.
Absolutely exhausting.
And I have always had a respect for single moms because I was raised by one. But once I was one, holy cow, I remember sitting on my kitchen floor sobbing one night because I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed and so alone. And Jaden was going through some stuff at school. And I had nobody to bounce, things off of.
That's a really big thing.
Yeah, I had nobody that was gonna help me figure out what the next step was. Jaden's biological father has not been involved in his life. At all. And
just for that one moment at Walmart to introduce Christina to his mom, and then Christina never saw him again.
No, he and I broke up right after Jaden was born.
You did.
Jaden's father wasn't involved. After he was 2, probably. So anyway, yeah, it was just me and
no, he wasn't involved before. He had nothing to do with Jaden.
No,
yeah, he would see him.
Yeah, he would see him
but
on the weekends.
But he didn't give you money. He didn't take Jaden with him for the weekend.
No, he would see him on the
Exactly.
weekends. Like, I would
That's-
take him and then
Mhm.
pick him up. But anyway, where
It's
was I going?
hard.
It's hard. And I just have so much respect. Nobody chooses to be a single mother. You don't wake up one day and go, man, you know what I want to do? Raise kids by myself.
Yeah. Our
That's-
parents had been married for a
Yeah.
while.
My
Like,
parents had been married for 18 years.
Mine was 17, I believe. So, yeah, I think my dad left when I was 7 or 8.
Yeah, mine, I was like 5.
Wow,
Yeah.
you win.
But anyway, yeah, the point being that you don't know what life's going to bring your way, and you don't know what the future holds. And our parents were in relationships for a long time and
Mhm.
thought that things were fine. You don't know what's going to happen. And the point being that nobody wakes up and chooses to be a single parent.
I think, honestly, you and I have probably... I know I have personally... I was... with my first marriage, I would often think back to my parents' marriage and say, I don't want to wake up and it be 18 years and then over.
Right.
My husband at the time and I knew that it was over, so let's just not drag this thing out. So I told him, we can find other people that would love us better. And we did. And I cannot imagine my life without Leon. He really is my right arm. And we enjoy each other's company. Do we have a lot in common? Nay. But I think you get to an age where you don't have to have stuff in common. You're not like, oh my gosh, me too. Oh my gosh, me too. No,
I think it's more...
a connection.
Yeah, for me, it's more of it's not that Randy and I have a ton in common, but the things that we have in common are our morals, our values.
Yep. Same.
How we want to raise our children, how we feel about our families. These are the big things.
And when you get older, those are
the things that matter.
And they do. It's like, going back to that show, Modern Love on Amazon Prime, you would see a lot of that happening. New York Times does a little weekly blip of people who write in their own stories, short stories of their modern love. And so each episode is different and they're real. They're from true stories. So from watching that, I realized, you don't have to have anything in common. Also, don't waste your marriage fighting with each other.
Oh,
I would
God.
say definitely find a therapist or something that can help you get past that, because why waste your marriage fighting when you can find a common ground and you can find a solution to get past that. I said that to Leon tonight. I said, I am so glad that we are where we are now. I
Yeah,
said,
and
we have been through so much and I can't imagine my life without you. So my point being from way back earlier is I think that I was way more particular in who I chose because there were a lot of men in our lives, that we had an opportunity that we could have been with.
Right.
But we chose not to have anything to do with him because we were so particular in who we chose, because we wanted to have what our parents never had.
I don't think I ever thought about my parents' marriage because I was so young when they divorced. To me, in my brain, they had never been together. Does that make sense?
I guess. I remember my dad when I was little, and I loved him. I was daddy's little girl, and then all of a sudden he was gone, and that really sucked. And so I knew that if I was ever going to start a family, I didn't want that to ever be a thing. And I don't know. Maybe those 2 years of, because I was 7 and you were 5.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just, I don't know, denial. I never gave my father much thought.
Interesting.
It was never like, oh, I hope I find a man that's not like my dad. I think it was more, these are qualities that I don't like, and maybe they just happen to also be my dad. But it wasn't like I ever was like, oh, this guy reminds me of my dad. I'm gonna
Oh, no, I definitely, because my dad went through a lot of jobs. And, so, I dated someone for like a tiny, tiny bit that went through a lot of jobs. And I was like, that is way too much like my father.
Yeah.
And I was like, out of there. And Leon is hands down the hardest working man I've ever met in my entire life. And that was honestly the first thing that stood out to me that was like, all right, I'm down for this guy.
We somehow went from single moms to...
No, I'm saying that I was really picky about who I chose because I didn't want to end up down the same line my father and my mother did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it goes down the line of our moms were single.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for raising us and keeping us alive. And this is how it has affected my life now.
Got it. Now I'm here.
And she's back, everybody. She was giving me crap. She was saying that I was going too far off topic.
Yeah, I didn't understand where we were headed.
I think because I take too long to tell stories. I really need to knock that off. I really do. Not everybody needs to know every single detail. Like, I was wearing pink fingernail polish with flecks of silver in them.
I mean...
My details. Too many details.
I like your details.
I'm like a book, and I need to be more of like a...
Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes. I was going to say a newspaper editorial.
Of course you'd say that.
I ain't never been with a baddie. She called, so I added to the tally.
So, I thought we could end the episode by talking about our really exciting guests coming up. We had talked previously about how, I think it was episode 3, Sexy Depression, where we talked about our mental health struggles and some of the ways that we dealt with those. And so we thought, because that episode is one of our most popular episodes that we've aired, so it really resonated with our listeners.
Giant truth bomb.
Yes. We thought, how could we help other moms who are struggling, maybe with their mental health or something going on in their lives? And so we decided to come up with a new series, and it's going to be Body, Mind, and Soul Healing.
Yay! Which I wish something like this would have been around when I was going through all of that and lonely.
Yes. So we thought, how many, everybody's mental health journey is not the same. Things work for some people, they don't work for others. So we thought, what if we could present to you all some ways that maybe you could find some healing or some help, some ways that we've tried, some things that we've gone through. So we have a therapist that's going to be coming up. We also have a lady who specializes in chakras.
Aligning the crap out of those chakras.
It was so much more than chakras. Like, when I spoke to her, I was blown away that it was not just the chakra part, but also doing the work to heal yourself. So talking about your past, it was almost like therapy and chakra mixed together.
I remember when I was going on my self-discovery journey, probably about 2 years ago, trying to better myself for my family. One of the things that I focused on was therapy and aligning my chakras.
Yes.
And it just, if it doesn't do anything, but if it does do something, then I was really aligned.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that everybody is going to experience their mental health journey differently.
You don't have to believe in it, but honestly, we're just kind of telling you some of the things that helped for me or for her.
Yep. And so, therapy, chakra lady. And then our very first guest is going to be the amazing psychic medium and pet medium.
Pet medium?
She does pets.
I'm bringing Tuna.
Yeah.
Because I was rocking him today and I said, what's going through your mind?
Yes. So, and her name is Teresa Falk. She is absolutely incredible, you guys. I am so excited. I've done 2 readings with her.
I've never met her, but I've heard so many amazing things about her, and I cannot wait to meet her.
Yes. So, I did 2 readings. One of my friends has done a reading. Actually, 2 of my friends have done a reading with Teresa. And when I tell you that my life was changed walking out, I can't even describe it. I can't explain. It was a weight lifted off of me. Things that I didn't even want to admit to myself that I was struggling with, she had brought to the surface. And she said it was because I was ready to let these things go. And so we worked through those together. If you have never been to a psychic medium, I would advise that you listen to her upcoming episode, because I think there's a lot of misinformation about psychic mediums, and there's a whole, like, is it against religion to be with a psychic medium? She's going to go into, she has a very strong faith. She was raised Catholic.
This is going to be my first experience because it was one of those things you grew up and didn't mess with. So I'm pretty excited to kind of like dabble in it. Because you see the TV shows and everything like that, and I've heard so much about Teresa from you, and I'm just really excited to, you don't have to believe in it, you know? I mean, for the listeners, but...
If it's not your jam, that's cool, but it might be somebody else's jam.
Correct.
So the whole point of this is to hit a wide variety of ways that could heal and could help other people. And I think it's super important. One of our biggest things that we've expressed on Millennial Momming is to not judge one another.
Nope.
So if that means how somebody chooses to heal themselves or how somebody chooses to make themselves feel better,
Leave them alone.
Leave them alone. Let them live. It's not hurting you.
It's not.
So if this is not your jam, that's fine. We're going to have something that probably is your jam coming up. So let's all keep open minds.
Right.
And
let's join hands and sing Kumbaya.
Yes, please. No, I'm super excited. So we've got at least 6 episodes coming up that are going to be part of this series. And we encourage everybody to listen, share with everybody, because you don't know who needs, to hear some of the things that we're saying or just needs a good laugh.
Yes.
So that's what we're here for.
We're here for it.
We are heading out for Mom's Night Out. To celebrate our 1,000 episodes.
1,000 episodes.
1,000 episodes downloaded.
1,000 downloads.
There it is.
1,000 downloads. So we are going out.
But it'll be an early night because we're old.
We are. It's already too late.
Yeah, I'm like, can you, the rest of you girls, hurry up and get here? Because... All right, guys. Well, we're going to go celebrate. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us. And really excited about stuff
We
up.
appreciate all your support. It means a lot to us when you comment, when you like, when you share. You have no idea. It really does excite us. We see every single person, so don't think, oh, it doesn't matter if I like it or share it. No, we know who you are. We will find you one day when we're rich.
And we will give you a big hug.
Thank you, single mothers. And thank you
Hats
to our
off to
mothers.
you.
We love you. I love you, Mommy.
Have a fantastic week, everybody, and we will catch you next week.
See you later.
Bye.